Welcome back to Final Fantasy II. In the previous episode, I visited the town of Mysidia, using the masks to brave the Mysidian cave, where I found the crystal rod, sailed towards the Mysidian tower, but got swallowed by a leviathan before I could reach it. I found a dragoon inside, Ricard, joining forces to escape, finally reaching the tower. After an arduous climb, I found Minwu, who sacrificed himself to break the seal of the Ultimate Tome. With this tome in hand, I returned to Fynn, receiving news that the Emperor unleashed a cyclone that razed many towns. Fynn is next. I must find a way to reach it fast, so let's get to it. I decide to make preparations on the town of Fynn. Talking with Paul about the cyclone, he decides to part the way with some items to aid in Firion's journey there. I cross the wall next to the bed, opening chests containing a ruby cuirass, a black garb, thieves' gloves, a gold cuirass, an elixir, a gold hairpin, a silver cuirass, and a blood sword. I then consult with Hilda. By asking her about the wyverns, she says that the castle's mirror can summon the wyvern by reflecting the pendant's light. I go to the mirror room, showing the pendant, seeing a reflection of a wyvern. The Wyvern Egg has hatched, with the wyvern flying all the way from Diced Island. I now have the means to approach the Cyclone. No time to waste. I approach the Cyclone, with the wyvern taking me inside. New enemies found here include Lamias, enemies capable of charming the party to confuse them. The Royal Guard, decently strong enemies capable of poisoning. Wood golems, strong and bulky with great magic defense. Fire goes right through them though. Their attacks also inflict sleep. And finally, vampire ladies, bulky and dead with HP draining attacks and spellcasting capabilities that include charm and sleep. I go east, climbing up to the second floor, going north, finding a chest that contains the Ripper, a knife that was supposed to deal 20 extra damage per hit, though this doesn't work due to a bug. The battle UI will lie though, as if this effect worked. I then go south, circumventing a wall, going upstairs to the third floor. A new enemy found here is the Amoeba, a strong poisonous attacker. I go south, then west, opening a chest that holds a poison axe, a poison elemental weapon that also inflicts the poison status. If only the game gave feedback on just how much damage poison dealt. I'm not sure it's terribly useful. I do give it to Guy. I return to the first floor, going west, climbing up back to the second floor, finding immediate stairs to the third, going west, climbing up to the fourth floor. I then go east, finding a chest containing a diamond helm, a headpiece that resists lightning. Then go west, finding a chest holding diamond gloves, another piece that resists lightning. I go back to the third floor, going south to climb up back to the fourth floor, going east, climbing the western stairs to the fifth floor. I go west, south then east, opening a chest containing a defender, a sword with massive evasion. I gave this one to Ricard for the time being. I then go west, around the wall, opening a chest that has a set of diamond armor, which resists lightning. It is guarded by generals, incredibly threatening physical attackers. They can inflict up to 10 hits, capable of dealing damage even to highly evasive fighters. I make my way back to the fourth floor, climbing the eastern stairs this time to the fifth, finding immediate stairs to the sixth floor, going north, then east, finding a chest containing a wind flute, a battle item that inflicts damage to all enemies with only a 20% chance of consumption. It is guarded by a green dragon though, even stronger than the white dragon. It has the Poison Cloud 16 ability for massive poison damage. I curse him with the ancient sword and blast it with thunder magic for effective damage and an easy victory. I then climb up to the 7th floor, finding the Emperor. As I approach him, he sends 2 waves of royal guards to intercept me. After defeating both, he joins the fight himself, accompanied by 2 guards and a wood golem. The Emperor himself is not super impressive. His stats put him closer to a tough random encounter, although he does have a suite of supportive spells that benefit him and his allies. As such, I go for his goons first. A lone Emperor is no sweat at all. With the Emperor finally defeated, it is time to celebrate. The world is free. Or is it? A rebel soldier storms in with grave news. Leon, the Dark Knight, has crowned himself Emperor of Palamecia. I talk with Hilda. Since Leon is the Dark Knight, it is our task to confront him and make him return to his senses. Surely, he must be in Palamecia. New keyword learned. Asking her about it, she says the castle of Palamecia is high on the mountains. It can't be reached by foot. I talk to Gordon, asking about Palamecia. He says Paul might know a way in. I then talk to Layla, asking her about Palamecia. She says that Paul has bragged about infiltrating it in the past. I go to Paul's house, finding Sid in there. Having been struck by the cyclone back in Palom, he gives us access to his airship, before succumbing to his wounds. I have to go all the way to Poft to retrieve it though. I can now reach Castle Palamecia. Although there are no random encounters in the air, the deserts of Palamecia have new encounters, that include sandworms, strong enemies with a mighty earthquake that deals non-elemental damage, Scissor Jaws, enemies with decent stats but a bit lower HP than expected. And Imperial Shadows, incredibly rare undead enemies that stalk the castle as well. They have incredible HP, attack and defense, and can even curse with their attacks or the curse spell. Fortunately, they always show up alone. I land on top of Palamecia Castle. New enemies here include Pit Fiends, somewhat fragile enemies with spellcasting capabilities and blinding attacks. Skulls, even frailer undead enemies. They can turn party members to frogs and drain HP on hit. And finally, Stone Golems, enemies with high stats, high magic resistance, high number of attacks, and resistance to all elements. Very difficult to deal with. I go north, entering the only room possible. There seems to be nothing here, but as I move forward, I fall down all the way to the first floor. I go south, finding a chest containing a diamond cuirass. I then go clockwise along the room, finding a chest holding garlic. I then go back along the east wall, climbing stairs to the west, going to the second floor. A new enemy that can be found here is the Black Knight, the Scourge that defeated my party back at the beginning of the game. They have high offensive and defensive stats. At the end of this section, I find a chest that contains an hourglass. I go back to the first floor, going around the southeast block to climb another set of stairs to the second floor. Going east, then south, finding a chest holding a knife. Then I go north, finding a chest containing a buckler. I then go counterclockwise around the room, finding stairs to the third floor. Going north, west, then south, finding a chest with a thunder spear. This spear is lightning elemental and can cast Thunderbolt 16 as well. I give it to Guy as a backup. I then go north, east, then south, climbing up to the fourth floor. Going around the west wall, opening a chest that contains a Saint Spirit. I then go north, then west, opening a chest that has Sleep Grass. I then go counterclockwise along the walls, entering a room that has 3 chests. They contain a mage's staff, a wizard's staff, and a healing staff, effective against undead enemies, although this weapon heals whoever it hits. I then go to the northeast, climbing up to the 5th floor, going west, finding stairs to the 6th floor, going south, finding a chest that holds a Sun Sword, a weapon effective against undead. Before I can give it to Firion, I must face a Lamia Queen. I then go around the east wall, climbing up to the 7th floor, the starting floor of this dungeon, going to the west, then south, entering a room with 3 chests, each holding an elixir. I go back to the 5th floor, going clockwise along the wall, back to the 6th floor, going south then east to the 7th, finding immediate stairs to the 8th floor. A new enemy that can be found here is the Coral, a very dangerous enemy that can insta-kill with a single hit, as well as use the Blaster ability for paralysis. I go clockwise along the room, finding 2 chests. They contain a Hellfire, an item that deals fire damage, but is rather weak compared to other such items, and a Wind Flute. I then go back to the center of the room, going face to face with Leon. Maria tries to stop this fight, but Leon believes that only true might can rule the world. But before he can do anything though, a familiar threat re-emerges. It's the Emperor, risen from hell, mocking Leon's attempts at becoming Emperor. Although Leon tries to reassert authority, the Emperor has become someone beyond such titles, aiming for world destruction. Ricard tells the party to ride on the Wyvern as he sacrifices himself to ensure their escape. Palamecia crumbles. Pandemonium has risen. I have returned to Fynn, being met by Hilda, and delivering the news of the Emperor's return and Ricard's sacrifice. Hilda muses on just how many have been lost to this war. Firion wants to join forces with Leon, even if Leon is a bit reluctant at first. Leon has overall high stats, except for Spirit and MP, though his high magic allows for growth in it. As if that wasn't enough, he has high overall weapon skills, especially in swords and axes. He's very versatile. I go back to the throne room, talking to Hilda. She says the monsters of hell have once again flooded the world from Jade Passage. New keyword learned. According to her, it is located near Mysidia. I talk to Layla. According to her, the Jade Passage is near the strait east of Mysidia, being given the name the Jade Sea. Then I talk to Gordon. The castle that emerged from Palamecia is nothing other than the Pandemonium, the fortress of hell. I then make a visit to Deist, talking with the mother that resides there. Mourning the loss of Ricard, after asking about the Dragoons, she decides to leave Deist behind, giving us the Dragoon's strongest weapon, the Excalibur. This sword possesses all elements and is also effective against monsters of 5 different families, those being dragons, giants, spellcasters, undead, and werebeasts. I give this sword to Leon. This has been an arduous journey. I inspected the mirror of Fynn Castle, showing it the pendant, summoning the Wyvern from the last egg of its species. Then I braved the Cyclone, facing the Emperor and defeating him. Leon the Dark Knight had ambitions of his own though. Declaring himself Emperor, So I went to Castle Palamecia to knock some sense into him. Before anything could happen though, the Emperor has risen from hell, raising pandemonium, with Ricard sacrificing himself to ensure our escape. After regrouping in Fynn, Leon has joined our side, and we must find a way to pandemonium, to end the Emperor's wiles once and for all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, as I finally bring the Emperor down.